A former Norman teacher's certification has been revoked. The State Department of Health is celebrating community health workers, and the National Weather Service in Norman is hosting a webinar on storm chasing. We'll have details on the KGOU AM NewsBrief for Monday, August 26th. I'm Nick Daniels. 2 years after former Norman teacher Summer Boismier shared a QR code to a banned book library with students, the State Board of Education revoked her teaching certificate. State Impact's Beth Wallace reports Boismier says the fight isn't over yet.
At Thursday's board meeting, State Superintendent Ryan Walters explained the board's decision to pull Boismier's certificate.
She broke the law, and I said from the beginning, when you have a teacher that breaks the law, says she broke the law, says she'll continue to break the law, that can't stand.
That's despite a State Department hearing officer investigating her case and recommending a year ago not to revoke her certificate. But Boismier says her battle with Walters and the board is going to continue.
I see this as a much larger fight, beyond just me versus him or a me versus them kind of situation. So what our next steps would be essentially is to move this fight from the classroom to the courtroom.
She doesn't have a timeline yet for filing, but hopes to move forward with a judicial review soon. For State Impact, I'm Beth Wallace.
The Society of Professional Journalists is condemning the Oklahoma Department of Education for barring a television reporter from a press conference last week. OPMX's Robbie Korth has details.
The organization says State Department spokesman Dan Isett erred by barring Oklahoma City's Channel 4 reporter Dylan Brown from attending the media briefing. Isett blocked the channel's reporter after State Superintendent Ryan Walters berated the media for reporting falsehoods without evidence during a State Board of Education meeting. Walters has earned a reputation as a provocateur for various stunts, including car selfie videos, calling for his own impeachment, and posting videos of himself dancing in a Make America Great Again hat at the Republican National Convention. The professional journalists group says the move to bar the reporter and photographer from a credentialed media organization is a blatant violation of press freedom by a government agency. In Oklahoma City, I'm Robbie Korth.
The State Department of Health is celebrating community health workers this week. These professionals help link people to health care and social services. State Impact's Jillian Taylor has more on how one worker in Cherokee County is impacting her community.
According to the State Department of Health, community health workers have helped improve thousands of Oklahomans' mental and physical health. Misty Wilson is one of 52 community health workers in Oklahoma, and she says she got her start after spending 30 years working in restaurants. As a frontline worker in her community, Wilson says she enjoys connecting her neighbors in need to resources like SNAP, Medicaid, and food pantries.
It's nice for someone to come in and they're, downtrodden and stuff, and you're able to take a little burden off their shoulders and give them a little glimpse of hope sometimes.
Community Health Worker Awareness Week is from August 28th to September 1st. Oklahomans can connect with a community health worker by calling their local health department. For State Impact, I'm Jillian Taylor.
The National Weather Service in Norman is offering a webinar on storm chasing later this week. This comes as interest in the activity has increased following the blockbuster hit Twisters. The Weather Service says since the movie came out, they've been fielding a lot of questions from those interested in storm chasing and storm spotting. And because of the surge in interest, the Weather Service is offering a webinar. The webinar will dig into how the movie portrays weather and science compared to how it works in real life. Attendees will get to learn basic information on how to observe storms safely and how to stay safe when real-life twisters threaten. The webinar is free, but registration is required. The event will be Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. A link to register and more information can be found at weather.gov/Norman. You'll find more news at our website, kgou.org, and on the KGOU PM NewsBrief podcast.
New from the Embedded podcast. Female athletes have always needed grit and talent. But for decades, they've also needed a certificate.
There was chit-chat about, is that really a woman?
And even now, they're still being checked and questioned. Their story is the newest series from CBC and NPR's Embedded. It's called Tested. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.